Our ancestors didn't struggle with boredom the way we do, but somehow we've grown more afraid of it. We've been programmed to avoid boredom at all costs. From standing in line to eating alone, we're constantly engaging with our screens. Whether it's checking our phones while waiting, listening to music while driving, or even playing games in the bathroom, we're always reaching for something to fill the silence. Even as you watch this 9-minute video, you might already feel a bit restless, wondering if you'll make it to the end. But don't worry, I'm going to explain why boredom is actually essential if you want to become a more successful, fulfilled person. As Arthur Schopenhauer put it, great men are like eagles and build their nest on some lofty solitude. Have you ever Googled the meaning of boredom? It's often defined as simply the state of being bored. Not very meaningful, right? Because boredom itself is an emotion, not a word. A state that actually has real value. It's a different experience from laziness. It's a blank space that invites creativity and growth. Sadly, we've lost this space, demolished by the cheap dopamine we're constantly feeding ourselves. Constant exposure to the internet, where we're always trying to avoid boredom, is setting our minds to a very low threshold for productivity. Robert M. Pirsig said, "Boredom always precedes a period of great creativity." Researchers Sandi Mann and Rebecca Cadman ran an experiment to investigate the link between boredom and creativity. They gave participants a tedious task, either copying numbers from a phone book or simply reading it, both designed to induce boredom. Afterward, participants were asked to brainstorm creative uses for everyday objects like plastic cups. The results were fascinating. Those who experienced more passive boredom, just reading the phone book, generated more creative ideas than those who had to copy numbers. This showed that boredom, especially passive boredom that requires little cognitive effort, can actually boost divergent thinking and stimulate creativity. If you never allowed yourself to get bored, how would you even reflect on your life? You'd be busy with work, and any spare moments would likely be spent mindlessly scrolling through reels. But those who embrace boredom and spend time alone with their thoughts tend to have a clearer sense of direction in their lives and a better grasp on their future goals. Ideas don't always require more time. They need mental space. And boredom is one of the most reliable ways to create that space. When someone asks for a business idea, those who have spent time alone with their thoughts often come up with the best responses. Being alone is like a hidden key to something big. Your mind is a powerful and remarkable thing, and it shouldn't always be occupied with talking, watching, or consuming. You have the potential to accomplish amazing things. You just might not realize it yet. As Joseph Brodsky put it, boredom is your window. Once this window opens, don't try to shut it. On the contrary, throw it wide open. Many authors have created remarkable works of art out of boredom. In fact, English writer Neil Gaiman encourages aspiring writers to embrace boredom as a creative tool. In an interview with WNYC Studios, Gaiman explained that he took a 4-month break from social media specifically because he wanted to feel bored. "I want dead time," Gaiman said. "If I'm in a cab, I want to stare out of the window and just think about things." He believes that an unoccupied mind, made possible through boredom, can become the blank slate we need to spark our own moments of inspiration. Many famous scientists have made groundbreaking discoveries during moments of boredom. Newton, for example, was reportedly sitting under a tree, lost in thought, when the falling apple sparked his ideas about gravity. A story that might be more symbolic than literal, but captures the essence of how idle moments can inspire. Albert Einstein is another great example. He often credited daydreaming with helping him think creatively. His famous thought experiment of riding a beam of light, which ultimately led to the theory of special relativity, came to him during quiet contemplation, not in a lab. Archimedes discovered the principle of buoyancy while relaxing in a bath, famously shouting, "Eureka!" when he observed water displacement. Research has shown a fascinating correlation between generosity and self-reflection. In one notable experiment, participants were asked to articulate the reasons behind their charitable donations. Interestingly, many of their responses revealed a common theme. They spent time alone with their thoughts, contemplating the lives and needs of others. This introspective process not only deepened their understanding of others' struggles, but also fostered a sense of empathy that ultimately motivated them to give more generously. This connection between self-reflection and generosity underscores a broader principle. When individuals take the time to consider the perspectives of others, they become more compassionate and altruistic. It seems that stepping back from the hustle and bustle of daily life to engage in quiet contemplation can lead to significant shifts in behavior. By reflecting on their values and the impact of their actions, people often discover a renewed desire to contribute to the well-being of those around them. Blaise Pascal famously remarked, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." In today's world, people have become systematized to work more than 8 hours a day, laboring tirelessly to earn money. When they finally return home, many seek pleasure in instant gratification, indulging in cheap dopamine fixes. While spending time with family is valuable, what is often neglected is time spent alone, time to engage with one's own thoughts. This fear of solitude and the self-reflection it invites leads many to seek external distractions, entertainment, and constant activity, rather than confronting their inner selves. This avoidance hampers their ability to gain meaningful insights into their desires and motivations, resulting in a fundamental lack of self-understanding. In a Guardian article, L. Hunt discusses the research of psychologists James Dankert and John D. Eastwood, authors of Out of My Skull, The Psychology of Boredom. Hunt explains that their work reveals how boredom is often misunderstood and even unfairly criticized. According to Dankert and Eastwood, boredom has the power to guide us towards better mental health and creativity skills. They believe that boredom conveys a vital message, one that Hunt admits she had ignored in her own efforts to avoid it. What if, she reflects, I simply stopped and listened? The inability to be still and reflect is a root cause of many societal issues. Individuals who struggle with self-acceptance and introspection often project their inner turmoil through unhealthy behaviors and conflicts. Advocating for mindfulness and encouraging the practice of sitting quietly can help individuals embrace solitude, ultimately fostering personal growth and clarity. In essence, we can say that boredom forces you to stretch your imagination. It compels us to confront our thoughts and emotions, paving the way for deeper self-discovery and understanding.